I asked myself this question a few times. How do I know I'm doing the right thing in life? And to be honest with you, I feel like I always know. I don't think there's been a time where I didn't know. When I was at certain jobs and, like when I was working at Starbucks and all that type of stuff, man, I didn't want to be there. My spirit was telling me, I don't like this. Mhm. But then there was moments where I'll be walking around taking pictures with my camera. I'm not getting paid for anything, but I'm getting lost in the moment. I'm getting lost in time. Or with my content creation, this ain't monetized. You feel me? This is still passion. This is still, direction and vision leading me to, that place. But it's not there yet. You feel me? But when I do this, I feel at peace. I feel like I'm doing the right thing because I'm noticing, yes, financial and monetary gain is always at the back of our mind because we need it to not only survive, but to experience certain things in life. But your true calling and your true purpose, that's your energy source. What energizes you? What gets you up? What wakes you up? What can you almost seemingly put your body into overdrive willingly and by choice? You get what I'm saying? Like, you feel it. And when you're not doing the right things, it feels like, at least for me, you're always selling yourself short. It feels like you're always letting a boundary get pushed over, even if they only pushed over it an inch or it pushed over it an inch. It feels like you're selling a piece of yourself every time. Like you will never completely be at peace at what you're like with what you're doing because it's not meant for you. Like it will always be some type of disruption. Um, but when I do the content creation or when you're doing anything that's actually meant for you, I also notice things work. I'm not saying they work immediately or they work in your favor, but I'm saying you see progression. You see forward movement. You see growth. And whenever I'm doing something in my life that I'm meant to be doing, all areas of my life grow. Like, we have different categories in our life, and they're all intertwined. However, they're separate. They're all intertwined by like this nucleus. When the nucleus heals, every little sub segment that's attached to that nucleus heals as well. So if you, same thing vice versa with the subnucleuses, right? So if you were to look at one of those subnucleuses and you healed it, the overall vibration of the nucleus would rise as a correlation to that, and then everything else would start. So like when I'm more involved in my creativity and my passions and stuff like that, I typically have better relationships with my family. I typically have better relationships with women. Um, when I'm selling myself short, I'm not doing what I need to do, being irresponsible, whatever the case may be. Other areas of my life start messing up too. I start getting in arguments. I start losing things. I start breaking things. I start losing money because I'm not doing what I need to be doing. But every single time I'm aligned to what I need to be doing, it is a constant flow of progression. One thing will lead to the next, that will lead to the next, that will lead to the next, that will lead to the next, because now you are in a true flow state. When you're not in a flow state, it's obvious because you keep reaching adversities. You keep reaching roadblocks. You keep having to stop. When you're in that flow, there's you're just on go. Um, and it's a beautiful thing to know. Yeah, that's something you just have to learn for yourself. I had to learn it for myself because we never know what we truly are, who we truly are. We all are just truthfully moving off our feelings. We like to say, oh, you got to be logical and all this other type of stuff. You only lot, like, how can I put this? Our lives are dictated by our emotions, meaning if deep down you felt like you were supposed to be a fighter, you were going to logically figure out what you needed to do to please your inner callings wanting to be a fighter. It was rooted in emotion but pursued with a logical headspace. Too many of us think that we're manifesting our life because we've killed our emotions or we're moving from logic and all this other type of stuff, when the only reason you're doing certain things and you're on certain paths and on certain missions is because something within you told you you were meant to do that. It has always been emotion. If you deep down your spirit told you you were supposed to be an entrepreneur, you were going to struggle and figure it out until something worked. You were going to die on that hill. But if some emotion in you, if some level of doubt, and emotion could even be the little small subtle ones that we don't pay attention to, like doubt. If too much of that emotion of doubt gets into you, you're going to go to work. You're going to go sign up for that 9 to 5. Not because it was a logical thing to do, because a logical thing to do would have just stick to your fucking guns and figure it out, right? But your emotions told you that said thing isn't going to work, or it's not possible for you to figure out a way to get that funding or keep what you get what I'm saying? Like your emotions told you that. So your logical headspace said the remedy or the solution to this is doing that. We overlook our emotions so much, but if you listen to them, you might learn something. You might stop hitting your head. You might get in a situation where you actually feel like you're doing the right thing in life. You see the the correlation? How are you going to know you're doing the right thing in life if every day you wake up you feel like you feel like shit? You feel like you're unaligned. You're going to know you're doing the right thing because every day you're going to wake up and you're going to feel like you're doing the right thing. It's very simple. Are you treating your girl right? If you waking up every morning and you dogging your lady and all sort of type of stuff, wondering, oh, am I living my life right? But every day you waking up and you stressed out about a girl, you stressed out about your woman, worried about what she doing, she on you, you on her, whatever the case may be. You not doing the right thing in life. Because if you was doing the right things in life, you would feel like you're doing the right things in life because you would have a healthy, loving relationship. You would be in alignment, you would wake up being like, dang, like I feel like I'm making the right choices. Only reason why we have certain levels of stress is because we don't think we're making those right choices. Figuring out what we want is so important. And the earlier you can figure that out, the better. If you know you want a family, if you know you want to love somebody, if you know you want to be an entrepreneur, artist, creative, the sooner you say, this is what I want, I'm grounding myself in it, bring it on, the sooner you're going to get to it. The moment you're like, I want a wife, I'm going to act like a husband. I'm not going to worry about getting my heart broke. I'm not going to worry about all this other type of stuff. I am a husband, right? I'm not going to be sitting here having situationships. I'm not going to be talking to all these different people. I'm not going to just be giving myself out freely. I'm not about to be giving my attention to just any and everybody. I'm not, you get what I'm saying? You really hold yourself to a principle, a standard. You focus on your mental health, all that other type of stuff. the chances of you attracting that counterpart goes up and you just sit in it. Yeah, I'm gonna make some mistakes. I'm gonna get heartbroken, but we gotta do what we gotta do. You actually get it, you know, by like not running from what you want. If you want to be an entrepreneur, the sooner you're like, I want to be an entrepreneur, and 9 to 5 isn't an option. You figure out a way to make you pay yourself, because every single time you're like, I'm scared, bills are coming up, what am I gonna do? Every single time you're like, I'm gonna put in that job application, you remember you told yourself, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, well, we can look in history and see millions of cases where entrepreneurs had to pull a miracle out of their ass and it fucking worked. Millions of like to a point where it's not even a miracle at this more. It's just like the spirit of an entrepreneur. You're gonna figure it out if you really are an entrepreneur, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, just sitting with it and believing in yourself and going off your gut. Stop letting people tell you who you are and who you aren't, what you can and what you cannot do. It's irrelevant. It means absolutely nothing. Because chances are they haven't did it. Chances are they haven't hit that exact goal that you're trying to hit. They have not hit that. Chances are. Either the way you're trying to do it, how you're trying to do it, whatever the case. Chances are they haven't. Some people have. Now, you can listen to those. Don't listen to the ones that haven't. You gotta listen to yourself more than anything. You know, you can take counsel, critique, advice, but who's really making the shot? Who's really making that final call? Who's really throwing the ball up? The coach in your ear, all he want, he's not in the game. At the end of the day, that player's gonna make the call. Who got the rock? It's not the defender. He's waiting on me to make the move. It's not the coach. He just wants me to do what he wants. He wants me to do what he wants, you know, me to do what he wants. But at the end of the day, I got the rock. I'm in the game. I get to choose if I'm going to throw this or not. I don't care what you're talking about. I can pass it. I could throw it up 95% smothered and green it and have the whole lobby like, how did that happen? You're cheating. You send out. Yep. I'm cheating. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's not always going to be obvious. It's going to take you hitting your head. But as you grow, mature emotionally, and you calm that nervous system, oh my God, that I could probably make a whole video on that, calming your nervous system enough to actually acknowledge what you're feeling, to actually sit in what you want long enough not to psych yourself out. That is a nervous system thing. When we start getting nervous and all sorts, like I've gotten to the point I've had to start taking like meditation breaks throughout the day where I just sit there and breathe, because I'll start building up anxiety throughout the day and not realize that I'm reaching my peak, and then the smallest of things start frustrating me and I feel it in my chest and I'm like, oh, okay, wait a minute. I was anxious. Let me step back from everything and destimulate. Then go back into it with a little bit more clarity and a little bit more, perspective. Making moves from overstimulation is crazy. You can use your emotions as a guidance system. My anxiety levels, my emotions told me I needed to take a break, so that's what I did, right? It's kind of just like a balance, masculine and feminine at the end of the day. I think we all do that naturally, by second nature, really. We don't really have to think about it, but once you bring conscious awareness to what you're feeling and how your feelings is dictating or influencing your train of thought, you get to use it to an advantage. The best way I can correlate your emotions and logical thinking is probably anxiety and your gut health. Your gut could just be like, you ate the wrong thing. Your gut can be like, this food is, I don't like this, so your stomach's hurting. But then simultaneously, you're becoming anxious. Your chest is getting tighter. You're not seeing things clear. What you eat has a direct correlation on what you're feeling. You're like catching my gist of the, like, how it's like sometimes your logic and your emotions go hand in hand because they're being influenced by one another. Your brain told you to eat something, which started, that system within inside of you of digestion and you not being able to do it. Then your emotions is now telling you that I'm uncomfortable. So now that emotion of uncomfortability is going to make you do other decisions, make other logical decisions to ease that emotion. We're always in a constant loop of emotion and logic because it's the play or the balance between masculine and feminine. I probably got too deep for y'all. I was just supposed to tell y'all how you know you're doing the right thing in life. That's almost turned into a whole spiritual lesson. But nah, I hope something in that helped y'all. I'm not gonna keep going because I know I'm getting too deep. So, but yeah, man, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Message to South Central is down in the description. I would really appreciate if you guys go and check that out. I put a lot of energy and time into writing that book. It's a lot of lessons, and as somebody who grew up in an urban environment, it may help you. So, yeah, man, I love you guys, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Believe in yourselves, man. Go make that S word happen. Y'all got it.